I met Vicki when we both went to the same university in Southern California. She got into medical school without problems. Somehow I slipped in, but we went to different schools. God brought us back together during our internships. We got married, and she didn't want children because she was dedicated to medicine. When you take care of people, it's demanding, and she lost a patient she loved and said to me, maybe I shouldn't do internal medicine. And that's when I realized I had my opening, because she had said she didn't want children. She wanted to be a doctor. We were blessed with a beautiful little girl, and then we had another little girl, and then we had our little boy. Boys are special to dads, and he was the apple of my eye, but he was killed in a car accident. That was the way God grabbed me. So at 50, I accepted Christ. We were doing as well as could be expected. And then I noticed that this very brilliant woman wasn't getting every Jeopardy answer faster than I usually could. Card games, when we would be on vacation, she was struggling with what we were doing. And I started to understand that if this wasn't depression, it might be the onset of dementia. Started some testing, and indeed the diagnosis of Lewy body dementia. And with it comes Parkinsonianism. My daughters both said, Dad, you can't take care of her. So come to Charlotte. And so we came and moved to this house, and the storm came, and Helene broke some trees over by our mutual fence. And so I decided to go and start sawing some of the branches, and overdid it, and came back in here to check on Vicki. And at that time she stood up a little fast, and I grabbed her to keep her from slipping down because she was starting to swoon, and I felt something pop in my back. The pain was moderately strong, and I guess I have a high pain threshold, and I wasn't getting up when I should get up. I wasn't taking care of her as I should take care of her, and I started to realize I think I'm going to have surgery. So I called one of my partners back in New Mexico who did backs, and he said, Frank, you can't have surgery unless you have Vicki go to a special facility, because it'll be 3 or 4 months before you can lift her. So I realized that night, I can't do this. Surgery's not an option, but I can't have this back pain. And I cried out to God. I think I finally completely gave it to him. So at church, in pain, Pastor David was on a roll, finishing up, moving as he does between us all, and we were standing, and I was agreeing, and he looked at me, and his eyes locked on me, and he came right over to me and held my head, and he was praying fervently that my back would be healed, and I was locked on his eyes, which are blue, and they seemed to get brighter and almost electric, and his face, kind of like mine, old with wrinkles, seemed to look young and then seemed to glow. And I felt warmth in my body. And then it was done. There is absolutely no reluctance in jumping up to take her to the restroom and help her. Every time I do that, I thank God, because I couldn't do that. My purpose in life is to take care of her and love her the way God loves her. I tell it to everybody, including my partners, who maybe think I'm off the deep end because it's hard for non-believing doctors to understand miracles. But I think they happen all the time. They've happened.